Joel, tell us your encounter with President Trump. How did that all start?
Well, the interesting thing was just before I got the call that my wife and I were going to meet him, I had a dream 3 days prior. I wake up from that dream at about 5:30 in the morning. I turn to my wife and I say, I want you to go to the store, go to the outlet mall, and go buy yourself a red dress. She said, why? I said, because we're going to meet President Trump. She says, no way, that's not going to happen. I said, yeah, it's going to happen. I had a dream that we met him and we're going to meet him, and I think we're going to meet him soon. 3 days later, I get a call from someone on the Trump team. Says, hey, Pastor Joel, would you be interested in meeting with President Trump? And I said, yeah. And when we went through the Secret Service and they patted us down, we couldn't have phones on us or anything. We get walked behind this curtain and President Trump is there. And the first thing that President Trump says is he says, I know exactly who you are. He says, I've been following that fantastic work you're doing in that tiny little country of Armenia. It's so amazing. It's so great. It's so fantastic. He says, you're truly an incredible guy. And he shakes my hand. And then he asked my wife if she was impressed with me. And then she replied, yeah, but I'm also impressed with you. And we took a photo with him. But he's a larger than life individual.
Yeah.
I mean, he really is. I mean, not just on the screen, in person. And it's kind of overwhelming because here you're sitting with this person who isn't just the former president of the United States, but he's a man who's amassed an empire. He has incredible
Indeed did.
business acumen. And I mean, I'm now shaking hands with the guy who literally walked across the border from South Korea into North Korea. Like, that's insane.
So would you not agree that being a businessman like Trump or entrepreneur is the world's most difficult job?
Oh yeah, it's definitely the world's most. It's definitely the world's most difficult job. And to his point earlier about isolationist ideology, like this whole entire thing is, if you're going to run this country like a business, you need to do what's good for you and for the employees of that business. So think of the United States citizens as employees. Okay, we're employees. We all pay taxes, right? We are employees. We are contributing to this business called America. And the problem that people will point out with your stance is that if we are going to hold to that viewpoint, where's the moral bent? Where's the moral compass? But I think you're right. Like, the scripture even says, for me to be a minister, I first have to have my home in order before I can tell other people how to get their houses in order. So there is something to be said there. But our governments, this is where people get confused. Our government's obligation and duty is to its own citizens. Period. Period. You can take that to the bank. This is in the founding documents, our country was formed with this in view, that the obligation of the government, of the federal system, is to the citizens of this country. Every elected representative is to represent the citizens of this country. Now, when that goes to the foreign policy side of things, this is where it gets kind of tricky, in my estimation, my view. Because if you hold that idea, then that means you have to either ignore the terror that you're seeing happening in the world, or you have to take a passive approach in how you engage.